Okay, our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board, 6 categories. For each chosen category, I read out an answer and the players have to guess what the question might be. Gina, what do you want? Which category would you like?
Health.
You want to go for health? Okay, the category is health. The answer is 24%. What is the question?
In an NHS hospital, what are your chances of having the wrong leg amputated?
Is it England players always claim to give 110% on the pitch? How much do they actually give?
Is it how many car journeys does George Michael actually complete?
What is the proportion of my penis that is medically safe for a woman to accommodate?
How much of what Ed just said is bullshit?
You know what? If only 24% of it was bullshit, then I'm still doing pretty well.
I would love Dora to go, yes, that is the right answer.
Just a picture of Ed appears like that.
I love the notion of a woman accommodating your penis.
I didn't want to be vulgar.
Does that mean that there's a wee welcome mat at the front?
I've never called it a welcome mat before, but
Yes, we have vacancies.
my favourite ever interruption. We've got to stop this penis thing, please. Number one interruption there.
Is that the answer?
Please, I'm particularly fond of. Please. Actually, interesting. It is a question about supersizing, but not quite.
Oh, is it to do with how many people in this country are obese?
Is it how many children are obese?
No, it's actually how many people are obese. Yes. The question I was looking for. Any guesses?
Is it what percentage of people in Great Britain are obese?
That's exactly what I said.
You said how many? It's technically not a percentage, and I believe Matt's graduate here will support me in that.
Yes, indeed.
No, hang on, if I may. If you said what is the percentage, then the answer would simply be 24.
Yeah, thanks.
You said how many?
Yeah.
24%.
Listen,
No, I don't think you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, now, show him your cocky.
Not beat him over the head with it.
With his little movement and your cock, you two could take over the world. Yeah. Please. Keep it vaguely topical. Anything about the news, please. The question I was looking for is, according to a Department of Health survey, what percentage of adults in the UK are clinically obese?
Shocking, isn't it?
It is shocking. This is a recent survey that's saying that 24% of UK adults are seriously overweight, making this country officially the fattest in Europe. That wasn't the reaction the government wished to get.
It's like Caroline Flint. You see, the health minister said this week that overweight people need lessons in how to eat fruit.
Yeah.
It just would be a great video of just a fat man with a banana just. Why won't you help me, Tony Blair?
It's ridiculous.
Why has strike action been called, by the way?
The reason this is to do with the pensions.
It's to pensions, yes.
Apparently, 1 in 5 people alive today are going to live to 100. That's how bad this situation is. 1 in 5 people. Like, you think I'm not happy about that at all. And you think I'm in my late 30s and I already fart when I cough, so I'm not happy about that.
I'm very grateful you've not got a tickly throat at the moment.
In other news, what has been discovered this week about man flu?
It exists, apparently.
It does exist. In what way does it exist?
In the way that.
I just know.
Never mind, she's on her period.
You can clap, she's just coughed and I've still got to sit here.
No, apparently man flu does exist. Apparently women are better at fighting off the viruses because we've got stronger sex hormones. That's official.
No, stronger immune systems. I'm not sure if that's... This is quite the same thing.
Confused with me Grazia magazine, sorry.
got so much more to do as well, women. There's the cooking, the cleaning, and everything. You can't be going down with the flow. Who's going to do the dinner?
Yeah, so you actually, women just don't get as many colds as men do. It's the same effect when you do, but they just don't get as many colds because their immune system is much stronger.
The problem for men, essentially, is that when you are ill, no one believes that you are. So there's a whole opportunity for the drugs industry. You need drugs that make you look iller. You know what? Lemsip Max increases the symptoms of...
So they live 5 years longer on average.
Women do live 5 years longer, and they get to stop work 5 years earlier as well.
Yeah.
Which is the thing. They
Not
get
for
some-
long.
You'd be laying in a coffin and she's like, he ain't really dead. He's just putting it on. Look at him laying in there, all pasty and dead. Because I mentioned the garden shed needed mending.
Was your grandfather's funeral particularly traumatic?
Yeah, we couldn't get out the chair.
It's funny you should say all
I've
that.
got vicious pins and needles. I genuinely have. Oh, God, I'm in genuinely real trouble.
Thank God you're not in Romania. There wouldn't be a doctor for miles.
This is the sort of British sportsman we've come to expect.
Really helped me leg.
So, Russell. You're the youngest, Russell.
You're like 10, 15 years fitter than any of us here, and you're the one whose legs have both fallen asleep from sitting in a chair.
Right, health. I actually don't have that good a relationship with my GP. For one reason and one reason only. Up until the age of 17, my GP had me on their records as a woman. But yeah, they had me on their records as Miss N. Caton. And then one day they sent me a letter in the post addressed to Miss N. Caton. Now, because I'm 17, I don't really pay attention to the detail. I open the letter, and the letter says, "Dear Miss N. Caton, your doctor surgery would like to invite you to attend a cervical screening next Monday at 9. Now, this is where I messed up. See, at 17, I knew what cervical was. That's obvious, right? But what I didn't know was that there's more than one meaning for the word screening. I thought screening was like, you're screening a film. So, when it said we would like to invite you to attend a cervical screening, in my ignorant, naive 17-year-old brain, I honestly thought I was being invited to watch a movie about women's genitalia. Now I'm 17, I'm horny, I'm a virgin. Am I gonna go? You're damn right I am. So next Monday morning, I go to my GP, I get to the reception, it's full of women, doesn't put me off. Walk up to the receptionist, I go, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Nathan Caton, I'm here for the cervical screening." She looks up, sees me standing there with nachos, popcorn and pick and mix. Starts laughing in my face.
What did 3,986 people in Britain have removed last year?
Oh, is this man boobs?
Yeah.
No, it's not man boobs, no.
Oh, I thought this was
fat.
No.
It was
It was fat, yes, it was fat. That's the amount of people who chose to have liposuction, or liposuction, was almost 4,000 people in the last year chose to have liposuction.
The thing I love about liposuction, you always see them, like in Bella magazine, those magazines you see the doctors, it's always that, my horror plastic surgery story. It's always that, I went in for a tummy tuck and came out with a bum for a face.
It's a bit odd, though, that men... I mean, it surprised me that so many men did it. It was about 5% of these people were blokes. Yeah. And that really surprised me, because I would have thought a major difference between the sexes is that women are generally worried about how they look. And men, even the elephant man, probably woke up in the morning, looked in the mirror and went, yeah, looking good.
In fairness,
it's just not... It doesn't happen.
No,
to,
in fairness, he went,
yeah, looking good.
I'm no looker, but I'm funny.
Having your man boobs done is a very sort of decadent kind of stage to get to, though, isn't it? That's why when I had mine done, I donated them to an African transsexual.
Very kind of you. The man boob statistic, just to say, there were 90,000 instances of cosmetic plastic surgery that go on during the year. There were 177 moves, right?
These statistics, though, they all come, don't they, from the British Association of Aesthetic Plastic Surgeons. Now, given their major thing is to do with breast surgery, isn't brilliant that the abbreviation for them is BAPS. That is fantastic, isn't it?
The one I really wouldn't have is Botox. I can't see the point of that. And it also scares me because if you get paralysed, your face gets paralysed, and if it gets paralysed at the wrong moment, if you go, so I'm not meant to smile.
If, for example, the wind should change. All the statistics of this week were that all types of cosmetic surgery went up except for one. It actually is difficult to do the show while your face is stuck like that. Is there any chance you could now stop miming Botox? The only type of cosmetic procedure that's become less popular are having your ears corrected. Apparently getting the things pinned back. Suddenly no one wants to do that anymore.
I've had that.
Have you had that done?
Yes. I was born with what they call bat ears. Nice of them. And I had them done, and the reason that my earlobes are so incredibly weird was that the stitches fell out, and the surgeon said, "Oh, you know, I'll have you back and I'll redo that," and he then died.
Well, you got the last laugh then. Yeah. Do you navigate your way around by radar?
Thanks for helping with the pain, Hugh. You have to be careful here. Hugh has to be careful because this week I discovered, I don't know if you know what slash fiction is, but it's basically gay fiction on the internet where they have people like, you know, Captain Kirk and Spock shagging each other. And there's one of me and Hugh. I don't know why you're doing that, Hugh, because you're the receiver.
I'm just trying to make it easier for you.
And the most offensive part of it is when they describe my pubes as being ginger.
Spin the wheel, and when it stops, anyone can step forward and try to make us laugh about the subject it's landed on. The winner of the team I judge to be able to walk like a human being. And skip or canter or... Yeah.
Here we go.
Just put your foot out.
Oh, cheers.
Stretch it. Just stretch it.
That's it. Go on, What are you doing to me?
That should do it.
Yeah. If I ever get famous, this photo's going to get taken and there's going to be a caption near it. Man gets bummed by ghost while two people help.
Why is this man being causing controversy this week?
Well, he had a baby, that man. You can see quite clearly that he's slightly pregnant. He became more pregnant, and then ultimately he had a baby. And normally when you say, is it a boy or a girl, it refers to the baby and not the mother.
Yes, this is the story of Thomas Beattie, known as the pregnant man. He gave birth to a girl last week in Oregon. Thomas is born Tracy and underwent a gender reassignment operation and is now legally male.
Good news, you've had a healthy baby. Bad news, you've blown your cock off.
That's actually good.
That's the main reason why Frankie will never be a doctor.
You got to work on that bedside manner. That really has to be. Doctors rarely come in and go, good news, bad news.
It's going to be really tricky to raise a kid, I think, because it's like the kid will be like, I want chocolate ice cream and strawberry ice cream. Well, you can't have both. Really, mummy? But gender reassignment, is that right?
Yeah. That's what it's called, gender reassignment.
It sounds like witness relocation for your genitals, doesn't it? It sounds like...
It would be a very severe form of witness relocation.
It sounds like you're being reassigned. It doesn't sound like you've made a choice. It sounds like it comes through the post and go, oh dear, I thought it was a BT bill. I'm going to be a woman from next Tuesday.
Apparently there's been a mix-up in the National Audit Office.
I've been reassigned the gender.
Sorry about that, darling.
I bet you any money anyone who went up to them didn't chat about the bump, you'd find any other topic. You get so embarrassed. So, do you like Twixes?
Yeah.
I saw a woman breastfeeding on the tube.
It's awkward, isn't it? What'd you do?
No, but it was beyond awkward.
Go on. How is it awkward?
I'll explain to you, Dara, if you'd let me finish. And I think I can prove to you with this next sentence why it was awkward, all right? She was breastfeeding the child, right?
Yes.
With her breast. The child was suckling, right? On the tube. That is not awkward. What was awkward, Dara, is that she also had her other breast out. Now, I don't know, but I feel that you breast one at a time. You don't leave the other one just hanging out.
Maybe she had twins and she didn't realise she'd lost one of them.
I mean, one of the twins may still be on the Jubilee line, and she changed to Green Park. And hello.
Come on, one for the baby, one for the carriage ladies. It's what I've been purposely going to do for years.
I guess because you breastfeed, and then if you have to change breasts, I think you put the breast back in.
Isn't it?
But to leave the breast hanging and just to be sitting there, I mean, at least she had a child. I mean, she could have just been sitting there with her tits hanging out.
And the topic is health.
My sister's got hay fever. Now she's got diabetes, so I tried to cheer her up, you know, flowers, chocolates. About a month before he died, my grandfather, we covered his back with lard. After that, he went downhill very quickly. Recently had bird flu, but it's all relative, isn't it? You know, if I had rabies and you offered me bird flu, I'd bite your hand off. Last summer I set up a clinic for colonic irrigation, but the hosepipe ban hit us hard.
Why has health and safety been in the news this week?
Because Cameron says he's going to get rid of it.
Yes. Which came a little bit too late for BP.
It's a stupid thing to do, to try and get rid of health and safety, because essentially we have evolved ourselves out of a position where we have any natural predators. The only natural predators humans have are ourselves and peanuts. We're doing the best because we're stupid. Health and safety is getting in the way of evolution. 10,000 people last year in this country were admitted to A&E having injured themselves putting their trousers on. Right? They're firing themselves out of cannons into their trousers. They caught themselves in the zip, right? Which is hideous, yes, but at least they can't breed anymore. That is evolution, and health and safety will stop that.
Imagine making that phone call though. Hello. Got my dick in my trousers, and I want to sue. My trousers.
My old teacher's mate was testing some reinforced concrete cages. You know, reinforced concrete is cages with concrete covering it, and they show you the cage out the back. And he jumped off backwards, being a bit of a lad, and split up the front of himself, and didn't notice until a couple of seconds later when his bollocks fell out of his jeans. He drove himself to hospital, right, holding his balls in one hand and putting them on his lap to change gear. He got to the A&E, and the woman said, "How can I help you?" And he went,
I bet there was somebody sat in A&E just eating a Scotch egg, like that.
I bet there's somebody in the A&E with a slightly hurt elbow going, I'm going to be longer than I thought now. I've been moved down by Mr. Hear Me Balls.
There was an incredible story about, well, it's not incredible, but about health and safety, that trainee hairdressers aren't allowed scissors. Just pretty... Imagine that. What are they going to do? Just use their teeth. This is Sandra, she's going to chew your perm out.
Who's going to step in and save the health service then?
Richard Branson.
Yes, that's it.
With Virgin Surgeries. He's moving into health on the basis that if you run a coach and a train company, you're going to understand waiting lists.
Yeah. How can you trust anything that Richard Branson does? What sort of arsehole tries to fly around the world in a balloon when he owns a bloody airline?
It's going to be exactly like Virgin Trains. They'll go, oh, you can't see the doctor, but we do have a replacement coach driver if you'd like to speak to him.
He's got a thing now where people can pay $1 million to travel into space with him. I'd pay $3,000 just not to be stuck in a lift with the arse.
He's also got I don't think it's with him, it's with his company.
No, he's going up as well.
On every flight.
Stephen Hawking's going to be, has agreed to be on it. Or maybe Branson just turned his volume down. You want to go, don't you? Oh, yes.
Branson treated Stephen Hawking like a ventriloquist dog, did he? Oh, I want to go on the plane. I want to go on the plane. Don't put me back in the box. Don't put me back in the box.
It's amazing, isn't it, what they can do with medicine these days? It's like that woman last week who gave birth to her. She was 67 years old. And you're thinking you don't really want to be a kid there struggling to walk, finding out that your parents are in exactly the same condition.
It's not going to be a struggle pushing it out at 67, though, isn't it? That baby's going to have spent the last 3 months bungee jumping.
Man, it's just...
Sorry, that's really... You managed to get a sports injury in the first 20 minutes of the show.
Sorry.
Morris, dance it off, Russell.
Yeah, I can't.
You've got to lie down.
Get down! I don't know what's wrong. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry.
I hope somebody's videoing this for a gay website.
Which bit's it's really telling that the two guests in the show ran to help while the regulars all sat here on our fat holes going, he'll bounce back. The next topic is health.
Oh, that was a long walk. Okay, health. Money-wise, I'm set for life, provided I die next Tuesday. Ladies, I wasn't circumcised, I was circumnavigated. Just because I have arthritis doesn't mean I can't live a normal whole. I'm a paranoid schizophrenic, but you know what they say. Unfortunately for agoraphobics, the cure is just around the corner. My manic depressive buddy was attacked by a bipolar bear. My therapist says I have a preoccupation with vengeance. We'll see about that. My neighbor's in the Guinness Book of Records. He's had 43 concussions. He lives very close. In fact, just a stone's throw away, but the point. To your health, my friends.
Who here has a personal trainer?
I haven't.
Why are you looking at me? Why?
Do you have a personal
in
trainer?
the past employed
In the past, you've had a personal trainer.
People too.
Did you?
And did it work?
Yes, it worked very well, actually, to be honest. I am the very model of physical fitness. It is astonishing. I often do an act on stage where I just go dun, 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 and I just move my breasts and my back around.
I seem to remember you once telling me that you have an exercise bike and a ski walker in your kitchen, and that once you've used the exercise bike for more than 25 minutes, your balls go numb and you have to crack one off. Store feeling.
I was also privy to that conversation.
Can I qualify this, right?
He actually said
the seat is very large for a bicycle, right? It's a big, heavy seat. And 15 to 20 minutes in, it cuts off blood flow to the gym. And I have to fluff just a bit. Just to get things kind of just circle. I don't actually finish it off.
Can I just ask you, what is the personal trainer doing while you're up to this?
I think I'd watch more sport if this was involved.
I think we owe it to ourselves to turn that into a fitness video where Dara's working out for 20 minutes and he just looks at the screen and goes, back in 5.
When you finish like 30 minutes of cardio and go, hey, you're looking good out there. Why don't you reward yourself?
Every 30 minutes in your video, it just breaks into porn.
Okay, the next topic is unlikely things to hear in a maternity ward.
Mr. Parsons, your baby looks exactly like you. But mind you, so does every other baby.
There are complications, I'm afraid. For a start, I'm not a doctor.
I definitely can see the head. You should do your flies up, Doctor.
Bad news, I'm afraid. He's ginger. Your Highness.
So, Would you like to hold the little fella? Or shall I give you the baby?
Mrs. Jones, I'm going to need you to push. And then when we've got the ambulance started, we'll try and get you to hospital.
Oh, God, is that my baby? I've given birth to Andy Parsons.
I'd stay up that end and talk to your wife if I were you, Mr. Smith. It looks like Alien versus Predator down here.
And this is the ward for unwanted twins. We call it the Jed ward.
Basically, you just turn them over and slap them on the arse. These nurses' parties are great.
Nice to see you again, Mrs. Jolie. If you'd like to just move along to the next window to collect your order.
Oh, this isn't your first baby, is it?
You have a bouncing baby boy. I know that because I dropped him in the delivery room.
Okay, big breath. Big breath in, hold it, and pass the joint to the midwife.
If you're not in when we deliver your baby, is it okay if we leave it with a neighbour?
That's good. No, I do like it, darling. Just not in that colour.
I know you're in great pain, but we need to know your name. Right. Doctor for Mrs. Fuckoff.
The next topic is unnerving things to hear during a medical examination.
Yes, I'll be operating. Oh, there you are.
Oh my God! Come here, you've got to look at this!
That's your smear test done, and I do have some bad news. I'm the janitor.
Yes, well, it's definitely stuck up there. We may have to use the ferret.
So if you'd like to just pop your clothes over there, next to mine.
You'll live for about a week.
Well, there's good news and bad news. But don't worry, I can give the good news to your widow.
Don't worry, panic over. It was just a spider on the microscope.
And how does it feel if I touch you here? And here? And there?
These drugs don't actually work, but every time I prescribe them, I get a free pen.
No. You can't have your old hip back, Mrs. Smith. I fed it to my dog.
This is one of the healthiest x-rays I've ever seen. But if we compare that with yours...
Right, I thought for a change, I could cough and you could hold my balls.
You have the body of someone half your age, growing inside your womb.
Well, there's good news. You've had a baby. And the bad news, it's blown your cock off.